I've wanted to somehow sneak a story about board games onto this show for a very, very long time. This isn't the one I was hoping for, but we've got Monopoly, but this time for socialists. Let's take a look at an image. You can see the actual cover. Monopoly Socialism, winning is for capitalists, which should give you some idea of where they're coming from in producing this. This is in Monopoly Socialism, an official version of the game. It's manufactured by toy company Hasbro, a big corporation. Players move around the board contributing to community projects, quote, unless they can steal projects to get ahead.
What are they, the Koch brothers?
Exactly, according to the description. When players pass go, they get a $50 living wage as opposed to the usual $200. Oh, I get it, because under socialism, you make less money. I guess that's the idea there.
Except for the fact that the whole point of the living wage is to increase your wages. That happens to be a little inconvenient, but continue. I love this game. I think it's hilariously ridiculous. I think it's an admission of defeat by Hasbro of that they can't possibly get young people to play their games. But I'm not offended, I'm amused. But it is deeply amusing.
Now here's the thing, so I know Ted Cruz has gotten all worked up in defense of this, and suddenly every right-wing media organization that's never been interested in gaming in their life is like, this is the best game ever. Why are you guys taking it so seriously? It's just an analysis of socialism, which is interesting because the game has things like, and this is from the description by the way, working together might seem ideal, but chance cards can abruptly shake things up with things such as lousy neighbors, vegan meatloaf, and bad plumbing. And so that's the issue. If you wanted to have a Monopoly Socialism that is a critique of socialism in the same way that the original Monopoly was a critique of actual monopolies under capitalism, you could do that. What does vegan meatloaf have to do with anything? And so to me, and I haven't played it yet, we do have a person on the panel who has. This seems to me like just another cheap version of Monopoly for millennials. It's just making fun of anything you affiliate with younger people because clearly your audience, your target audience are boomers. It's just boomers. Young people aren't buying these. Young people know that there are tens of thousands of other board games they could buy. They're not buying this. And so let's turn now to one of these millennials. You've played this game, Dan.
Gen Z, mind you, just to freak you out a little bit more about your age.
Okay, well,
yeah, I played this game with one of my friends. He brought it home, like my roommate brought it home and said, this exists. And so of course we had to play it. And like, everything about the story kind of annoys me because obviously the right wing is taking it to use and say, oh look, here's what socialism's really like and people aren't happy about it. And then there are people on the left who are needlessly like, saying, oh, this game isn't exactly what socialism is like. Do you expect like what, Hasbro to be Marx Engels' reader or something? Like it's not any of this how it works.
Well, so my reaction to that would be, there are many monopolies. There's tons of them. You've probably been given a monopoly at some point in your life. And whether you like Rick and Morty or Game of Thrones or Harry Potter or whatever, Seinfeld, there's a monopoly for that thing. And so also, why not? There could be monopoly socialism. But the thing is, in none of those other cases, is the theme used to attack the theme. Rick and Morty isn't attacking Rick and Morty or Rick and Morty fans. You know, Game of Thrones Monopoly isn't attacking Game of Thrones, it's just using that theme. Only in this case is it designed to mock the theme that it's chosen.
But the reason I love it is because I think it accidentally mocks themselves.
Right.
So they're like, socialism, where you eat health food. Okay, because you'd like to be unhealthy. Okay, look, I eat unhealthy and it's obvious, but I'm not weirdly proud of it. And I'm not like, that guy, he looks good because he's healthy. Ha ha! What a weird thing, right? But it gets worse. They mock schools and hospitals because apparently those are socialist things. Oh, look at these people working together to bring their kids to a school to learn.
But like, I don't even read it as, like they called the healthcare hospital like healthcare for all hospital or something like that. So it's trying to play off of Medicare for all thing. And all of this is, no pun intended, a game because socialism is popular in the zeitgeist right now. And of course, people like my roommate would of course buy it. And so in that case, it's working. But no, it's not gonna actually teach anyone about socialism.
No, but even that, look at it. Look at it. No, healthcare for all. So what would be your version, which is ideal? Healthcare for some and others die.
Yeah,
like
capitalism.
Yeah, like literally.
Right, probably.
Wait, I got more.
Okay.
You have more, really?
Yeah, whenever anything bad happens, it's because of a vote. Okay, they're like, we're gonna confiscate people's wealth with some sort of vote. First of all, some sort of vote is called democracy. And second of all, it happens all the time, except it happens in the real world and you confiscate our wealth to give to oil companies, for example. There's oil companies that have billions of dollars in subsidies every year from the taxpayers. And their excuse is, well, we had a vote and you guys put in Republicans, so you're an idiot. Yeah. So I confiscated your money and I gave it to the richest corporations in the world, suckers. So in their version, look, I'm not even a socialist, I'm a capitalist. But in their version, they're like, oh, now they have votes that help regular people. Socialism.
So the thing that frustrates me, and perhaps I'm one of those leftists who gets too triggered by this, and I know the right wing thinks that's just a thing that the left does. Well, I would ask you, how's your Keurig doing that you sledgehammer? How are your Nikes doing that you set on fire because they dared to have a person in a commercial? Anyway,
don't disrespect New Balance Nation here, John.
Exactly. I'm wearing New Balances, but I would also wear Nikes. So I identify as a democratic socialist, and maybe I'm just especially angry about this today, but it's because there was the thing with Trump where he was like, I hereby declare that corporations have to do this. And so everybody was responding, everybody centrists online were saying, that's what socialism is. But that's not what socialism is, hereby declaring that corporations do something. And every time I see socialism brought up on the mainstream media, it is some ridiculous, farcical idea of what it is, when it's not particularly complex. And there are plenty of people on the activist side, on the politician side, on the academic side that could explain it to you. But we're not allowed to actually have any understanding of what socialism or democratic socialism are in this country. And so it's silly to say that a game should be an example of that, something that can educate you. But I can name any number of games that are actually educational while being more fun than I'm sure this is. So it was an opportunity to perhaps get young people to play Monopoly again when they've moved on from that decades ago. But they've chosen not to. They want to sell a few copies of this to boomers who are going to laugh at those millennials once again, and that's it. It doesn't go any farther than that.
Okay, but if Monopoly Socialism has to be like exactly accurate, then I should just live my life against the rules of Cards Against Humanity, and everything that's on the cards, I should just literally do it. Which
I think you should try that for a week and film the experience.
So
members content.
Again, I believe in capitalism. So if they make money from this, let them make money from it. What do I care, right? And it doesn't offend me. Let goofballs be goofballs, right? It's a free country. Every part of this game is hilarious. Minimum wage increase sucks to be a small business owner. Pay the bank $100 from the community fund.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's a community bank, so like everyone has the money.
No, but the community fund is giving it to the privately owned bank.
Oh, yeah, that's the problem.
It's a minimum wage increase. It goes to the workers. Why would the minimum wage increase that helps the workers pay a bank from a community fund? It makes no sense at all. But they're right wingers, so it doesn't have to. And my last part of the rules that I love is at some point you get a card or something like that, and you run out of money. And the only way to keep things going is if the players donate money. They're like, donations, the socialists like to do donations. Now remember, the main right-wing logic for we don't need taxes is because it's okay, we're gonna do charity. And people do charity. I mean, all the churches, etc. So we don't need the taxes because of charity. Now they've turned around and like, people who would do charity, stupid socialists, who would try to help other people. Capitalism is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are a capitalist, you should be way more offended at this game than the socialists are.
And by the way, and if this is like your introduction to board games, let me just tell you, there are a lot of awesome ones out there. Tweet me, I'll give you a recommendation.
And Monopoly, of course, ironically, was originally invented by feminist comedian Lizzie Magie. It was called The Landlord's Game. And of course, a guy stole it and then sold it to Parker Brothers. And the Parker Brothers then violated copyright laws, and it's called capitalism, baby.
Tax the rich.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.